Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Sy Skye Podcast. I am your co-host, Sy Riley, joined by the always lovely Skye McMillan. Skye, how are you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and this is a bittersweet day.
It is. I need like the sad, what's it called? The sound clip.
Yeah.
That.
Man, like, this is, if you guys don't know, this is our final episode
Yes.
of the Sy Skye Podcast.
And our final, I guess, final semester here. Like, this is, we're almost out of here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, our time at UNM has been great. Skye, what is your, like, most memorable moment?
There's so many. Like, throughout my years here or just like in this?
We'll go favorite Sy Skye podcast moment and
Okay.
then time at UNM moment.
Honestly, all the laughs during the podcast. I feel like there were so many people that honestly you don't get to see that side of them. And so seeing them open up, make crack jokes, all that stuff made me laugh. I love whenever I can laugh or make other people laugh is one of my favorites. So I don't have like a specific favorite moment, but I would just say all the laughs that we've had on this episode, just being here with different people has always been fun. So what about you?
Man, now that you say laughs, like I'm just thinking of like all the I'm thinking of all the footage and edits that we've had to cut out. Or by we, I say Chase. Chase has had to cut out.
Yeah.
But no, it's been great. I think my most memorable moment that I'll take from this is whenever I walk into this room, that trek past the receptionist and walking through the hallways of this brand new place. And literally the first time I walked in here, I was like, wow, I didn't know UNM had this. Like, we were on the come up. And that's my number one moment, the first moment.
Yeah. As soon as I saw the on-air sign outside, I knew this place was going to be legit.
It's a special place, a special room, special building now.
Yes.
A lot of construction has happened, and it looks like amazing. The total package.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see what else UNM does in the future.
Okay. Now, going back, the second half of that question, your favorite moment here at UNM?
Favorite moment here at UNM? I have so many. I really loved away trips with our soccer team just because if nobody knows, when we travel from Wednesday to Sunday, which is so much longer than a lot of other sports. So we're away for 5 days. So our coaches have to be creative and think of ways to kind of keep us entertained, which there were some really funny moments. One in Las Vegas, we were there. We were split into 3 teams, I want to say, or 4 teams. So it was the freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And it was just so fun. They had like a lot of candy for us because it was October, so it was Halloween time. Yeah. And I remember we had a stack of toilet paper and we had to make wedding dresses out of the toilet paper with our teammates.
Whoa.
And it was so funny. And then we had like a person that worked at the hotel. Yeah. She had to be the person who judged our
that's dope.
Wedding dresses, but we also had to come up with a skit as well.
Okay.
So the skits were so funny that people came up with on our team, and I was just on the floor crying, laughing because they were just so funny.
Did the toilet paper ever rip? Did the dress ever rip when you guys were walking in them, or?
No, it actually held up pretty good.
Okay, so y'all you're a fashionista, so that's probably why you guys is
ours was together. Ours was pretty good, but it was so cool just to see how everybody kind of used the toilet paper differently, and then you had to walk down the aisle and then play the whole scene. And the poor lady watching. There was so much stuff that happened, but that was definitely one of my favorite moments. I'll never forget that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So
I think my favorite moment would probably be Red Rally.
Oh.
The first time.
Okay.
Because it was after COVID and We were playing state up here in 2021. I think that was actually 9/11 weekend 2021. We were playing state up here, and they were talking about Red Rally, and Coach G was talking about there's gonna be a giant Aggie burning on fire, and I'm like, all right, dude, so there'll probably be a couple candles. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, giant Aggie on fire. And then, of course, there's a giant Aggie on fire, and everybody's raving and jumping. And I'm like, dang, UNM, okay, you got some spirit to you, because, again, that's COVID. I came here during COVID, so it's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Everybody's by them lonesome. And then they decided to open up, and they opened up with a bang. I'm like, let's get the job in. Yeah, so I think that was fun.
Yeah. Never experienced anything like that ever before. People go crazy for that, by the way. If you haven't seen it, you should go look it up and see what we're talking about, because it's pretty cool and legit.
Yeah. It's and it feels hot. It's actually hot.
Yeah, no, I can feel like everybody goes crazy though.
Yeah. That was a nice time.
Yeah.
Skye, you're about to graduate.
Yes, I am.
How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good. I feel like I've been almost waiting to graduate for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm trying to stay in college for as long as I can before I have to get a real big girl job,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm in between, but I'm so happy of how far I've came and just excited to see what I guess is up for me after I graduate.
Who was your favorite professor from your time here?
It was my mediation professor. We did mediations, and it was super cool. I've never done anything like that where you kind of had to mediate whatever role, like you could say like a divorce or something, like something between the mom and the dad. And so we did a lot of like acting kind of in there, where people were a mom or a dad, and then you had like the kids.
Yeah.
And it was just super cool. I've never done anything like that. She would bring donuts and sweet treats in sometimes. And she was just so sweet. Like, she was just like a great energy to be around and always made that class super, super fun.
Man, if my professors brought donuts and stuff, I would probably give them an apple.
Yeah.
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 Because that's what people do.
Yes. Who's your favorite?
I'd have to say it's a tie between 4 people.
Okay.
In no particular order. Gwyneth Dolan.
I would also put her up there.
Michael Marcotte.
Okay.
I'm about to butcher his name so bad. But I'm just call him Tomai. Because that's his name. That's his first name. Tomai. Tomai was my guy. And then I'd have to go another lady named Hannah.
Okay.
I think her last name was Oxford. Professor Hannah Oxford. And they were all CJ professors.
Yep. I know 2 of those.
And they were really, really nice. They wanted me to learn. They challenged me. They made me do things outside of the box.
Yes.
Coincidentally, 2 of those 4 people were in person and the other 2 were virtual.
Yep.
So I never really got to meet the other 2, Tomai and Hannah, face to face. But my time with Gwyneth and Michael were just awesome.
Yes.
And they're really stewards of their crafts.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Happy retirement.
I know.
Happy retirement.
Gwyneth was a great professor. If nobody knows, I went up to Santa Fe at the state capitol and did reporting there live every Wednesday for the first 8 weeks of this semester. And Gwyneth was just such a great professor. I learned so much. I learned so much about the state capitol and how it works and how bills are passed and not passed. And I just learned how the state capitol worked within those 8 weeks, even though I only went up one day. But she was just a phenomenal professor. She knew everyone in there. She was just such a great person. And that was the first time I've ever had her. I've never had Gwyneth other than my last semester. And I told her how happy I was to have her for my last semester because everybody always speaks good things about her. So, yeah.
If there's one thing you're going to learn from Gwyneth Dolan, it's about the New Mexico legislature.
Yes.
I had to say it
she knows
exactly
that
like
thing
her.
Up and down, she knows that thing.
And I also want to give a shout out to the New Mexico Local News Fund, which is a news fund that funds journalists in the state from all over, from UNM, from New Mexico State, Eastern New Mexico, probably forgetting a whole bunch of other New Mexican colleges, because I don't know a lot of New Mexican colleges, probably New Mexico Military Institute. I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically all these places, all these universities, colleges and universities throughout the state, they have this news fund is putting people, these students that want to work in journalism, that want to work in newsrooms, they're putting them throughout the state at different organizations. I was lucky enough last summer to be a part of the news fund, and I was placed at New Mexico PBS, which is kind of how I got started into doing journalism. KLB, there's different opportunities for everybody, and the application deadline has already passed, but when it comes around next year, I definitely encourage anybody in this avenue, in this state, to reach out to Gwyneth Dolan. You can find her under the C&J banner, I'm sure.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
Reach out to her. Make sure that you apply and that you're, giving yourself an opportunity to, witness new things, new perspectives, new experiences, and really challenge yourself. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there, too, and say thank you to Gwyneth and Michael, because they were the ones that ran the boot camp.
Yes.
That really started me on my journey.
Okay. We'll have to email them about this episode so that they can listen.
No, I'm going straight to Twitter and I'm posting.
Okay.
I'm posting this.
Okay.
And I'm tagging both of them.
Both of them? Okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
to make sure that they hear this, they see this.
Yes.
And that they know that
we appreciate them so much.
them.
I've learned so much through Michael with audio journalism.
Yeah.
And also writing. He challenged me so much with writing.
Absolutely.
Because, as a writer, you write so much differently.
Mm-hmm.
Than you writing an essay. It's a completely different way, and it's kind of like challenging just because you're not used to writing that way.
Yeah.
So he really challenged me to crank out these stories every single week and writing a certain way, and was just an awesome professor. So thank you guys for being so great.
They're the best.
They are.
They're the best. And quite honestly, I don't know if I'd be here without them. I don't know if we'd be doing this without them.
I know. Honestly, yeah.
So, yeah, we thank you guys.
Yes.
Yay!
Round of applause.
So what's next? What's next, Skye?
I actually don't like when people ask me this question because I'm like,
okay, I'll rephrase it.
I don't know.
I'll rephrase it. What are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? Honestly, new experiences, getting reps in what I want to do if it's not at the high level that I want to. Obviously, I want to do sideline reporting for the NBA or NFL, but I'm looking into women's basketball since there's a little rise in women's basketball right now. So hopefully doing something with college women's basketball, hopefully in this upcoming semester.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I'm up in the air.
Yeah.
I put in different applications for different jobs.
Yep.
From different companies, Fox, CBS.
Yep.
Disney. I also put my hat in the ring for the New Mexico Local News Fund for a fellowship. By the way, they don't just do internships; they do fellowships. Why do I keep looking this way? They do fellowships for a whole year, $36,000, and if you're obviously working well within the place that they place you at, then you have an opportunity to sign on as a full-time employee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put my hat in the ring for that.
Awesome.
Something hopefully here at the university working with UNM. I just want to get reps. This past week, when this comes out, it'll be maybe a week or two after.
Yeah.
But I was able to co-host with JJ
awesome.
Buck on, the Sports Animal, the opening drive. So that was amazing. And there's different avenues that I'm looking towards, but I'm just excited about the whole thing.
I mean, you kind of all just have to figure it out and try new things and different things. until you find something that you really like, and then you can like perfect kind of like your craft in that certain thing.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of just taking it as it goes. I do want to move to a different city, so hopefully I will be somewhere different in the next couple of months is my goal, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm just manifesting good things and positive things in that direction.
Yeah.
Got my resume and LinkedIn done.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
We'll see.
And then lastly, before we get out of here, what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who wants to do what we're doing right now, who wants to go into our field, our area of expertise? What's one piece of advice you give them?
Be comfortable doing uncomfortable things. I think it's super important to kind of just put yourself out there. When we started this, I didn't know how it was going to play out, but I'm so happy that we stuck through and did something that we both have never done before.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at us. I want to do a podcast hopefully in the future and continue this on. That would be really cool. But just putting yourself out there and trying new things, because you never know what you may like. You know, like I really enjoyed doing this and meeting all the types of athletes and listening to all their types of stories. It's so cool just to hear where people come from in their background, because it's not the same as mine or yours. So be comfortable with being uncomfortable is my piece of advice to everyone that listens to this.
I love that saying. I tell everybody that. I probably say that once every 2 weeks or so. Like, I just love being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Like, that's the best thing to grow.
That's how you get better.
Yeah, to challenge yourself, to put yourself in a place that you're not familiar with, to expand your knowledge of expertise, to get reps, to get all the things that you want in life. It starts somewhere. So, I think I was planning on saying the same thing. You know, just be willing to do something new.
Yep.
I'll let you go ahead and give your shout outs for your time here to your family. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody who listened, has tuned in, has listened to this podcast, the people that have come up to me and told us that we're doing a really good job with this podcast. Thank you to my parents, obviously, because they're always like my biggest supporters and want me to do things outside the box that I'm not used to doing. So I want to thank them. They've been so great tuning into every episode, giving me feedback on what I need to do. Also, my coach, Heather, she always tells me how she's tuned in, how I'm doing so much better on like speaking and asking my questions, and how we're doing such a good job with this podcast. Honestly, anybody who has given me feedback, Lauren Green on KOB News, she has been such a great person. She listens to every episode, so I know she'll hear this. But thank you to her, because she's the one who gave me the idea to reach out to you to start this podcast.
Aww.
And
well, thank you too, Lauren.
Yeah.
I thank you.
Yeah, so she is amazing, awesome. So I just want to say thank you to her, because she has been such a great role model for me, and just trying new things that I'm not used to doing, and like giving me ideas to try something. So she's been awesome. Yeah. So all those people.
I was able to meet her for the first time on Monday, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
And also shout out to Heather, because she shouted me out on the radio today.
She did?
Yeah, she was texting JJ.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Yeah, that was very nice.
I know she was impressed by your soccer skills. She was telling me about that. She was like, I can't believe like all this soccer knowledge and all this stuff. So yeah.
I try. But people like Heather are going to make me want to try even more.
Yep.
So I want to thank, first and foremost, I want to thank Chase.
Obviously, the man behind it all. Yes. Thank you, Chase.
Our guy. Chase, are you able to say something to the people real quick?
People don't want to hear from me.
Yes, they do.
Chase is the magic man. And
he is.
You know, he's the one who's editing this, who's putting it together. And he's a jack of all trades.
A man that can do it all.
Master of none.
Yes.
Master of none.
Thank you, Chase.
Yeah, so thank you, Chase. I want to say thank you to Brandon.
Yes.
As well. Somebody who else has been extremely instrumental in the making of this podcast. what the behind the scenes footage that he takes, encouraging us to create a podcast, Instagram, and take new steps into the visual component of this. So, Brandon, we appreciate everything you do for our podcast and for us individually and us collectively. I want to say thank you for my family, or to my family, for their support, for their love, for encouraging me to continue to do new things, always telling me what I'm doing good, what areas I can improve in. I want to say a special thank you to my dad, who's also a podcaster, streamer, YouTuber, name him, like he does everything. So, and giving me, little tidbits and advice, and also helping me do the podcast when I was at home in Los Angeles, recovering from my surgery. So, I want to say thank you, first and foremost, to my family and also to my father for his tech wizardry as well.
Yes. And thank you to Sy.
No, don't do that.
Making this
no,
so
don't do that,
easy
Skye.
and just making this such a fun experience. And I'm really going to miss this. It was so fun. And there's so many memories. I'll remember this forever.
No, thank you, Skye. You're the best. And, I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. And I appreciate you reaching out to me and, taking that courage and the bravery and being committed. It's hard for, number one, there's a stereotype that Black people can't be committed to things long term. And number two, it's also hard to see people that look like us doing the things that we're doing right now. So I appreciate you for sticking through and, finding a way to work things out, whether you're in Phoenix, I'm in Los Angeles, we're both here. Our schedules are hectic. We're in season, making time.
Yes.
I think that's something that, is beautiful from all the things that we've done together.
Definitely.
And this is definitely not the last you'll hear from either of us.
No.
You will see us, you will hear from us, and you will enjoy the tremendous progress that we'll make in the future.
Yes. All right. Closing out. Go Lobos.
Go Lobos. Thank you, guys.